Hey everybody, we finally stopped talking about it and got our garden built. We wanted something practical but budget friendly, and it didn't happen overnight. We've been working on this for quite a while. We decided to go with raised beds. And our raised beds are 8 foot by 4 foot. And we did 6 of them. And we didn't just fly by the seat of our pants. We actually did a lot of planning, and we started planning this in the winter. And we started getting seeds purchased. And we actually started a lot of seeds before we planted them into the raised bed in the greenhouse that you see behind me here. And that's all I'm going to say about the greenhouse for this video, because I think that the greenhouse deserves a video all on its own. And so we'll do a full greenhouse tour video later on, but it was very instrumental in getting our seeds started, because this is the, I'm going to say, middle of May now, and we just got everything planted in the raised beds on Mother's Day weekend. So everything is just in the ground. Some of the stuff we planted seeds in the bed, some of the stuff we planted as seedlings and even plants in the raised beds. But they're 8 foot by 4 foot. We built them out of standard 2x6s, the same 2x6s that we used to frame out the interior of the barn. We just bought a pallet of 2x6s, had them delivered to the house, and we've used them for a lot of things. But the raised beds are 2x6. They are double stacked, so we have a total of 11.5 inches tall, 8 foot long, 4 foot wide. And they are, I'm gonna give you a good view here. You can kind of see them all there. They're all in a row. And then we have the trellises, panel trellises, arching over the top. I don't know if the camera's really picking up because it's super sunny today. I've got an ND on the camera, but it's still super bright. But we've got the trellises up, and we're very strategic about where we planted things. We are going by doing our research, going by the square foot gardening method, and just packing as much stuff into these beds as we possibly can. Vining stuff will go, it was planted near the trellises so that we can train them up. And like I said, we've got a mixture of plants and seeds in here. We had compost. I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace, brought our compost out for us, and he dropped us 7 tons of compost. But really, guys, we just wanted to, we're figuring this out as we go, but I do have some clips of us putting these beds together, and I'll try to drop that in here. I'll also try to throw on the screen somewhere the gardening plan that Tori and I put together. And we followed for the most part, made a few tweaks as we were planning things. But for the most part, we really tried to stick to the plan. This has been a series of projects. You know, we like to do projects around here. We have a good time with them, and we enjoy doing it. We enjoy finding the cost-effective way to do things. You might be asking yourself, why did you do raised beds when you have all this acreage? And super valid question. But the reason why we did that is so we can control the dirt. The soil that we have out here is very clay heavy, Texas clay, gumbo clay, whatever you want to call it. And it's not great for growing stuff. We have amended the absolute hell out of the dirt over the course of the last year since we bought this place, to be able to get our pastures to grow better forage for animals and to be able to grow better grass for the lawn. We have done sod. We've had to do a lot of things. I've had a lot of sand brought in, and we've dragged a lot of sand around to try to amend the soil, a lot of fertilizers and things of that nature. Raised beds allows us to control the soil much better and should yield us much better results than if we were planting it directly into the ground. But this is just our attempt at growing our own food and having more control over what we eat, knowing where it comes from. That's important to us, it's important to me, and it surely is important to my family and to those that we will hopefully have enough to share with. We only tried to plant things that we personally enjoy to eat, things that we eat, things that we can feed back to the other animals on the homestead, and just try to keep that in mind. Another reason we did the raised beds is because it makes it a little bit easier to work on. You know, not having to bend down so far and get on the ground and do all that. That's helpful. But we're absolutely figuring this out as we go. This may be a complete flop, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, in the springtime last year, we were living much more so in the city. We had a half-acre lot, and we started doing a little bit of gardening, and I'll try to throw something on the screen somewhere here and show you a picture of what that garden looked like. And I'll tell you what, though, we had a heck of a time doing it. We enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. We learned a lot, and we also spent a lot. And we bought some prefabbed beds and some prefabbed planters, and before we eventually decided to try to make up our own. But the construction on these beds, guys, is super simple. It's just 2x6s and some deck screws. Nothing more than that. Slap some stain on the boxes before we put dirt in them, so both inside and outside is treated with some water-based stain. But this is not pressure treated lumber. You can do that if you want. There's 2 camps to that. I don't really have a leg to stand on, but pressure treated was more expensive, and so I opted out of it. Will these last forever? Probably not, but they'll last a while, and a while is good enough for me. As far as irrigation, we don't have any. But what we do have is, it rains every once in a while. We got a 1/4 inch of rain the night we planted that stuff, so that's beneficial. But what else we've got, spinning around, is our rain catchment. So we've got gutters all the way around the house. This downspout feeds into this rain barrel, and then both rain barrels are connected with a hose, so they raise and lower at the same rate. I had used about, I would say, 1/4 of the water, and a 1/4 inch of rain filled it back up to the point where they're overflowing again. So we have a 100-foot extendable hose on a hose reel. Comes in super handy, and that's connected to a pump in the rain barrel so that we can, on demand, pump out water, rainwater, to water the garden with. We have found that rainwater is exponentially better than our crappy HUD water, whatever you want to call it. We're in a water utility district. Water sucks. It's terrible at most things, and growing plants is definitely one of them. We don't irrigate the pastures at all. We just don't. We rely on rain, and we're trying to collect rainwater as we can. I hope to grow our rain catchment system. Right now we were at 100 gallons. I would like to get somewhere between 250 to 300 gallons, somewhere around there. And because I know that 100 gallons is going to go pretty fast during the summer when we're trying to keep all this alive in the summer heat. So that's it, guys. If you got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And believe me when I say that I have absolutely zero to no idea what I'm doing here. We're learning as we go. I'm watching a lot of YouTube, I'm watching a lot of TikTok, and I'm trying my best. We're gonna learn, and this year might be a total bust, but I think we'll be all right, and we'll learn from it, and we'll share our mistakes and our lessons with you. And that's it, guys. I really appreciate you watching. Stick around for more garden content as it grows in, and subscribe if you want to know more about how we built this greenhouse. See you guys.